Me and the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like a family man supposed to be. And you damn right, I forgot him. That was my husband. Have nothing. I was with that nigga when he was broke down, when he ain't have nothing. How he gonna do me like that? Told me that dark-skinned women look like men. Do you remember when you called me blacky and ugly? Help me, Lord, help me, help me, Lord, you know help me. Down, and I hope he burns in hell.
Hey, you got a cigarette? Oh. Hey, you my new cake worker? Okay. My name is Originated. I love my daddy. I don't know if he can get my kid. He my best friend. He took good care of me and my brothers and sisters. I got a lot of brothers and sisters. My daddy worked a lot of jobs too. I don't know if he can get my kids though. Hey, what you laughing for? Baby, shut up over there. I'm gonna tell you like that. Why you laughing? I took my mother's case to say. Okay.
Make sure y'all share this video, subscribe, and save the date. It is going down on Saturday, November 17th, 7 p.m. sharp. Y'all know the dark-skinned activist delivers on her promises. And for the first time in the history of the dark-skinned activist tour that I started back in 2006, featuring my one-woman play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, I'm bringing y'all the live and in-person pay-per-view live stream performance of A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. That's right. Anyone, anywhere in the world can watch A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, the play, right from the comfort of your own home. Get your tickets now. The link to the tickets are right below in the description box of this video. Now, for my people in Atlanta, the live stream will be filmed in Atlanta, Georgia. So for those of you that are in the Atlanta area, you can catch the show live. The live show will be at Playback Sounds, located at 675 Metropolitan Parkway, Suite C12. Now, you can pay at the door, but there is limited seating, so get your tickets now. The ticketing below in the description box is also there for the people in Atlanta. Bonus! Yep, I got a bonus for y'all. On Friday, November 16th, come out and meet me, the originator of the entire dark skin lane, the first platform in history for dark skin, aka dark skin activism. Come meet the dark skin activists at the Ancient African History Museum. Now, it's only right that the dark skin activist gives y'all the history of how I created the dark skin lane at the Ancient African History Museum. This is a package deal. You get to tour the museum and then listen to a Darkism talk hosted by me, the creator of dark skin activism and the author of the most books on dark skin than anyone in the world. You will learn how and why I invented dark skin activism. You will learn about dark skin activism's impact on social media and popular culture, opening the doors for all others to openly speak on dark skin. You will learn who and what inspired me to create dark skin activism. You will also learn about all of my dark skin books, plays, and so much more. Ages 14 and up, limited seating, tour hours 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Darkism talk 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The location is the Ancient African History Museum, 675 Parkway, Metropolitan Parkway. Let me get that right. Metropolitan Parkway, Suite 3118-B. Get your tickets online at ancientafricanhistorymuseum.com. I would like to thank all of my sponsors, all of my supporters, and everybody for helping me make this happen. Subscribe, share, and like this video, and I will see you on November 17th.
Our guest is going to be introduced today. So without introduction, you know our show is not about the host, it's about our guest. This is the first dark-skinned activist, Miss Black Tar. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great.
Now, the audience is going to want to know immediately, like, what is this dark activist about? You tell us.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you asked me to come on this show in the city of St. Petersburg, because this is where all the what I call dark skin mental abuse started. Right here in St. Petersburg, right in the schools, right in the city, right in my family. You know what I'm saying? I went to Tyrone Middle School, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life because I was picked on, called the blackest, ugliest girl in the school. Matter of fact, I seen the guy who was the ringleader, and I named him CD in my play, and I confronted him. It was at a store, a corner store on Central, and right next to Amscot. I confronted him, and he acted like he didn't know who I was. And he's like, oh, you know, I didn't say all of this and this, that, and the third. But the point that I'm trying to get across is it's just so ironic because most of the time I've been like speaking to people and, you know, doing radio in different states and doing my plays in different states. And so it's kind of ironic that this is where the dark skin activism, the catalyst for the dark skin activism actually started. And then in 1998, I always let people know I've been a dark skin activist since 1998. I gave my first lecture on dark skin mental abuse at St. Petersburg College during Harambe. And I'll never forget the day that I did it. I actually won it was a speech contest where there was a $250 prize. I actually won, and after I gave the speech, I'll never forget the black males that was in the audience was looking at me like, who this, you know, it was looking at me because I was talking about Alek Wek, the Sudanese model, and they was people was talking about how black and ugly she is, and she looked like a man, and blah blah blah, and she bald headed. This was coming from black people. So it was during Black History Month, and was given the opportunity to enter into a speech contest, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna talk about this because I'm sick and tired of black people denigrating dark-skinned women, and this is something that's all over the world. When I came here, I was just telling you, I just got a message from someone in India. I had put the information in a group called Dark Skinned Women United that a light-skinned sister started, and it's a lot of Indians that's in that group, and they go through the same thing, but it's levels to this thing because you could be Indian and dark skin, but if you got that straight hair, you still better than a nappy-headed dark-skinned woman that looks like me. But I'm digressing here, but it started at St. Petersburg College as well. I gave that speech on Alek Wek talking about how black people was going in on her, and it was just terrible. I still got the magazine she was on. She was on the cover of a white mainstream magazine. That's why I always tell people this is a black problem, because white people, I'm starting to think in some ways they like dark skin better than, or appreciate it better than black people do. Look at Lupita. She was on the cover of People magazine, voted the most beautiful person in the world. So long story short, it started here in St. Petersburg. I went to Tyrone Middle School, went to Dixie Hollins. I will never forget the torture that I went through at Dixie Hollins. And if I ever see those guys, I'm gonna confront them too. I mean, I'm not violent or anything, but I just tell them, hey, this is what it is. This is what you did to me, because I think that a lot of dark-skinned women, they go through this and they're quiet about it. People want them to be silent because, you know, they're just not comfortable with it. It's like the big elephant in the room in the black community. Right. But I think when we talk about it openly and honestly, that's the only way that we get to real solutions, and that's the only way that we stop it. And that's why the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign that I started is the first campaign in the world, and I've done my own research on this, to eradicate what I call dark skin beauty discrimination. No one's doing it. Right. Now there's only one other dark skin activist I know before me, and she's not self-proclaimed, but I'm giving her the credit because she inspired me. Her name is Cola Booth, and I followed her in my undergraduate years, and she's the only other person. You know what I'm saying? But there's been, you know, you had the Dark Girls that came out. You have people talking about it in movies, but there's never been a campaign specifically to eradicate it, and that is where I come in, and that's what I'm about. So that's why, you know, that's what it is.
what would happen if people say, you know, when you have activists, and I'm gonna let you answer it shortly because I'm gonna go commercial break because I want to bring you back on it. But you know, we have the Black Lives Movement, right? And then we have the All Lives Matter movement. So if you're saying you have a dark skin movement, what about fair-skinned women? What would their opposition be to your campaign?
Jesus help us. You know what? Here's the thing. There is no dark skin privilege. There's none dark skin privilege. There's light skin privilege. There's even pretty dark skin girl privilege if you mixed with something. Someone told me this just recently. So there is no need in my book for a light skinned or non-dark skinned female beauty movement, because dark skinned women, if we honest with ourselves, have been deemed the ugliest women on the planet. And if you look at there's a beauty hierarchy worldwide. I mean, just look at the billion-dollar skin lightening industry. You know, people can do their own research. There's a ton of colorism scholarly research that's out there. Just go Google it and you'll find it. So there's no need. I can't see the need. If you look, going back to the scholars, for example, scholars have, I wish I could think of her name, it's gonna come to me, but she's one of the leading colorism scholars. And she pointed out in detail how dark-skinned women are discriminated against in every facet of society because of their dark skin. And it's in marriage, it's in education, it's in employment, you can even just walk in the store and, you know, people don't respect you the same way that they would a non-dark skinned person, even in mental health. So I don't understand how or why there would be a need for a non-dark skinned female beauty movement when in fact the darker skinned women are at the bottom. It's just a way to deflect off the issue. And I get that a lot. People say, oh, you hate light skinned women. I don't hate light skinned women. My best friend is extremely high yellow. I used to be homeless and on the street, and my light-skinned best friend and her light-skinned mother gave me a place to live. I ended up getting my GED, graduating from college, getting my master's degree in political science, became a success story. So I believe that was a result of the help that I received from this light-skinned woman. So it's not about that. It's about looking at a problem and saying, hey, this is what it is. What are we going to do about it? And that's where the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign comes in, and the world's first dark skin activist, Rashida Strobel, comes in to eradicate it.
You guys heard it. It's the first. We have her on our show. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and I got some very interesting questions to ask our guests when we come back about a 2-minute break. Please tune in to your hardest hit radio show. It's your host again, Toriana Parker, along with our executive super producer, Jabbar Edmonds, on the Deuces. I will see you in 2 minutes. Deuces. Hey, tune in again to our third edition of Hard Hitting Radio. This is your host again, Toriana Parker, along with our super executive producer, Jabbar Edmonds. Our guest today, if you haven't been tuning into the first segment, is a movement. It's a dark skin activist movement. It's a person that is taking this to another level. It's not your local person. So we really have a person on the international level on our show. Hey, we was talking at the beginning, at the top and bottom of the show last time about, you know, light skin movement, dark skin movement. We kind of dissolved that. It should not be no light skin movement because we know the privileges are not the same. Now, how about the same for us? Advancement for our light skin women when it comes to job? How about dating? And how about our African American brothers' preference on light skin or of any color, any nationality? What's your thoughts on those?
Well, I mean, I have a, let me just jump straight to the dating part.
Okay.
I have a big problem with black men who discriminate against dark-skinned black women. I specifically have a big problem with celebrity black men that discriminate against dark-skinned women because they're famous and they're impacting the psyches of a lot of young, impressionable men, and those men grow up, some of them grow up to discriminate against dark-skinned women. In fact, I was just watching, somebody sent me a video the other day, World Star Hip Hop. This young, he had to be like 17, and if you go online you'll find it. he was saying, oh, dark-skinned girls are crusty and dirty and they just don't never look clean in comparison to I was like, I sat there and watched the video like 2 times just to make sure I heard what I thought that I heard. And he was just like, just bashing dark-skinned girls with a straight face. He was like dead serious. But I don't know why I was surprised, because this has been going on within the black community for like the longest. And one of the goals, one of the missions of the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign, and people tell me that I'm completely nuts. I done got into so many arguments with people, but I don't care, because this is what it is. If they don't like it, that's their problem. One of the goals of the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign is to increase the numbers of black men marrying and dating dark-skinned women. And people say that that's insane, but again, they think it's a joke. But I tell them, go do the research. Right. It has been well documented that dark-skinned women they're the last to be married. This has been well documented by scholars. So they don't have to listen to me or listen to my personal experience. People are free to do their own research. We got the internet, we got the libraries. Go read. Go do your Margaret Hunter, Dr. Margaret Hunter. She's one of the chief colorism scholars out there. She's done a lot of work on it. It's a whole bunch of others out there. If you read her work, you just go to the bibliography and you can research the researcher, and all the information is there. I think she referred to dark-skinned women or light-skinned women when they get married as having light skin as social capital. That's deep. Having light skin and so-called good hair being social capital, you know, when you step out there into the marriage market. So if a woman is dark-skinned, then she can't use, I ain't never been able to use my dark skin or my kinky hair to get me anything. That's just the truth. So, you know, when it comes down to the marriage and the dating issues, I want to equalize. I'm not saying people will say, oh, well, what are the light-skinned women supposed to do? That's a very selfish question, when we in the black community know darn well that light-skinned women don't have a problem. They don't have an issue. So if you a light-skinned woman, or if you're a black man, you should be saying, how can we equalize and balance the numbers of black men marrying and dating dark-skinned black women? That's how I see it.
Wow, very interesting. And any hurdles in this movement, maybe? Who's your opposition?
It's a lot of hurdles. I get a lot of I'll get a lot of hate mail on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, people email me, they message me on Facebook, they come on Facebook. There was this recent heckler, and I'm gonna say his name, no government name. This guy was just completely insane. He just spent like a whole week arguing with me, trying to tell me what I'm doing is stupid, it doesn't make sense. Just the other day, and he probably don't care if I say his name because they putting this stuff publicly on Facebook. Okay. Kenneth, that's his name. He called black tar, referred to dark-skinned people as black tar, which is why he inspired me to change my new name to Miss Black Tar. Because you know what? I've been called Blackie, Burnt Biscuit, African Booty Scratcher, every derogatory name that you could think of when it comes to dark skin, the ugliest dark skin or the ugliest girl in the school. And so now I take those terms and I'm turning it into, hey, look, we're gonna put the microscope on these terms, and we're gonna force the black community to face it and to deal with it. So, you know, yeah, I get hate off the YouTube. People have went on YouTube and I'm just like, wow, they make fake profiles saying that it's me. I have a friend that I do, we do like discussions. He lives over in Europe, and he's messaged me. He's like, Rashida, is this your profile? You saying all? And I'm like, no, people do all kinds of stuff. So, you know, it's because this is the big elephant in the room. They want dark-skinned women to be quiet. They don't want us to talk about it. They want us to continue to take the abuse and take our low status. Right. But I'm not gonna know, because I'm up here, because the mother of the human civilization is dark skin. She came from East Lake, Africa, or East Africa. This has been proven. She was dark skinned and gave birth to all the other colors of the human race. So how in the world could you not respect the dark skinned woman with kinky hair? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So when I get hate from these people, it's also balanced out with a lot of dark skinned women who contact me, even dark-skinned men. This one dark-skinned guy contacted me about 2 weeks ago, and he said this whole discrimination with dark skin has completely ruined his life. Like, this stuff is serious. People think this is a joke. But if I could just, I'm never going to do this, but if I could just show people my inbox, my Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign Gmail inbox, or if I could show people my Facebook messages, oh, you'll be like, what? Huh? That's why I know it's real. So that's why I'm very relentless in continuing to expand the campaign. And the campaign actually consists of me doing my the play A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, because that spearheads an open discussion after people are entertained and that kind of thing. So,
is this campaign open for people to engage to help with the movement? And if so, how can they get in contact with you to say what can they do?
Oh, absolutely. I actually have a GoFundMe. Thank you very much to my most recent donor. We just shot a commercial for the production that's going down in Atlanta, and my most recent donor just funded that. So thank you. If you're listening, you know who you are. Okay. People can contact me, darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. They can go to my website, darkskinisbeautifulcampaign.com, and what I've done is wrote the first motivational book in the world for dark skinned women. They can go there and sign up for the campaign and get that for free. They can pass that book on. They can, read my books. They can talk about it in their communities. They can go into schools. That's another thing. I think that dark skin is a part of the whole bullying thing, because I worked in the Pinellas County schools and I've seen it firsthand. So I think that's another thing that black teachers in schools, they need to stop being scared and deal with it. When you see it happen, when you see a child calling another black, you black, I'll never forget, over at Campbell Park, this little black boy was throwing over chairs and just acting a fool. I said, what happened? She called me black. Well, you are black. And he was pitch black and handsome, but he was very upset. Right. So if you see that going on, I stopped the whole thing, shut it down. We finna talk about this. Educate the white teachers, because they had no clue. They didn't understand why this was happening. Right. So this stuff is real. Take it. Another thing too is to take it seriously and stop just sweeping it under the rug, because a lot of people think they think I be playing, I guess because of the way I come across, but I'm dead serious. I'm as serious as a heart attack. Right. Like, it's no joke. So, those are some of the things that people could do.
I tell you what, to go into our end of that segment, we'll leave it up to you. We got men in love. Could you tell everybody out there, and that's on our radio listening audience and our YouTube audience, how real, when you're saying how real this campaign is it subjective, where it maybe happens in certain areas, not others? Is it generational? Because I'm a person that I came from the projects, and I moved from there not to other area, and I think just where it's generalized, I don't think your beating was any worse. I have a studio guest in here. We remember just being in high school, we were all pulled over in Pinellas Park and told to lay on a hot hood. Oh, Lord. And I don't know, they looked at whether a complexion or another, but they just know if you roll that black face, I needed you on this hot hood. So maybe subjectively, that has happened. We do get it. Right. But how deep is it today when it comes to the policing and how people view you? Whether there's any severe, maybe because you're darker than the next person, or just on no matter what, or just on within our own race only.
Well, there's something that I want to say that I really don't say a lot, but make no mistake, I completely understand and get it. This whole dark skin campaign came out of racism and white supremacy. Okay. So Neely Fuller is one of my top 5 scholars, as well as Frances Cress Welsing. Go read up on them and study their work, because they speak extensively about this, and I'm just another player or actor in this whole scheme of racism and white supremacy, trying to break out of it and trying to free ourselves. Neely Fuller says we are prisoners of war. Right. And as such, prisoners of war, sometimes they fight each other and get mad because they ain't got no control. Right. So I don't want to fight with black people. I really want to find a solution to our problem and deal with it. But we got to be honest with ourselves, because I don't think white people can solve this. Right. This is a black issue. So that's why I'm not really concerned about, this is a black issue. We got to solve our own problems. Right. So I hope I answered your last question.
No, you did. Hey, you want to have a narrative. I can tell you from our producer to myself how appreciative we are you being on the show. These are the topics we address due to the fact that they're they're hard-hitting things because they affect our community, and that's what this show is about, things that happen in our community. That's why it was put together by myself and our producer. So you have the topics that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's something that it happens on a day-to-day basis. There are people oppressed by. I've heard of some people I've researched for you have even committed suicide over something like that. Lives are taking stuff. It's a very, very serious issue. It's a very, very serious movement. I would like you to hope you follow her on Facebook, Twitter, however ways that you can see her. YouTube.
Gonna be in Atlanta December 12th. 2 shows, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge.
And you're gonna be on my best friend show on WTMP. So I want everybody to definitely follow this movement, take it real. And I want to make sure I get it again right here. This is the world's first dark-skinned activist, Miss Black Tar.